Looks like we got several things that are coalescing at the same time, and it's presenting an interesting mosaic as to basically giving us a good picture, a mosaic type picture of what's going to happen here in the immediate future. Immediate future being not tomorrow, but over the next 6 months, I'd say, where we're going to really tell us what's going on. One thing I've been saying that is a major, which will be a major catalyst to bring up gold and silver, is a conflict in the Middle East. And it will. If there's a conflict in the Middle East with Iran, oil is going to go over $200 a barrel. It's going to set new records. And, when that happens, tensions in the world like that, that's when you'll see gold take off, and you will also see silver take off too. And, one thing I know people's been asking, some people have also been asking me about, if we have the inflation rate at such and such amount with food and energy and all this type of stuff, will it be basically the same as silver and gold? In a short answer, maybe yes, but there's going to be various spikes in these different things. Like oil, gold, and silver, if oil goes in a very hard bull run, gold and silver will likely go into a hard bull run too. I mean, a real hard bull run, and oil hitting record heights. So will gold and silver, but they're not going to all happen at the exact same time. It's going to be ballpark real roughly, but it's going to miss by months. And I don't have a crystal ball on things. Actually, I think things are going to settle down after whatever happens with Iran happens and the situation is resolved. But now the reason I'm thinking that's coming to ahead is because that it appears like the deal is off maybe with Iran. I am not sure. I'm getting mixed messages. I know Israel doesn't want them to back off the sanctions, but the reason I'm thinking the deal is off is because Iran's sending warships off the coast, or one warship or a couple warships off the coast of USA, which is, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do there, provoke war and be target practice for the U.S. Navy. Is that what they're going to try to do? Because, I guess, they got their pride in what they're going to do, but, I mean, man, oh man, that's not really a smart thing to do anyway, But anyway, it looks like, the problems are going to come to a head pretty soon. And it's kind of coming about at the same time something else is coming about. And I kind of mentioned this before. It's almost like war is going to be a diversion away from domestic problems. And the domestic problem is going to be the debt ceiling. Now, Secretary of Treasury Jack Lew alluded to that the debt ceiling must be addressed by February 27th because they're going to run out of cash. Well, you're thinking, hey, that's like more than 2 weeks away, whatever, right? We got some time. Well, no, we don't, because actually the Congress has only 3 days this week because the Democrats are going into recess after that. And so there's only 3 days where the full House is going to be in session this week. So they're going to have to resolve it this week. And the next time the whole House House of Representatives is going to be in session is going to be 1 day before the deadline on February 26th. So it is critical. Now, I don't really know I don't think anybody knows because, I think the Republicans on the top are going to go along with, just raise the debt ceiling. But it looks like there's other holdouts that are going to say no, no, no. But it looks like what's probably going to happen maybe is that, it's getting right to the edge here too. No matter what happens, it's getting right to the edge. Now, if they don't resolve it these 3 days, the Democrats are going into recess. I mean, I don't even want to pick on Republicans or Democrats. I don't want to play this party affiliation. But when you have a crisis in the country and these guys go on strategic recess, I'm like, what are you guys doing, man? I mean, if you're in the military and, you don't get a day off, I mean, if you got to attack on Sunday, you got to attack on Sunday. these guys will be taking a 2-week recess. You know, the whole country might shut down, you know. I don't know if this is going to happen, but, you know, I'm expecting that if there is, like, this debt default, if it happens, it's going to be resolved immediately afterwards, but it's going to be like a major black eye for the U.S., you know, financial stance and prestige and credit rating and all this other garbage. I'm not sure if that's the case. If that's the case, I say it was planned. I mean, because I don't know how to, you know, it's so stupid that they can't just raise the debt ceiling. The problem is, you know, the thing is where there's probably going to do this, they will raise the debt ceiling, is that there's going to be no policy changes attached to it. You know, in other words, you know, I guess Obama's not going to get his way on this and that. It's just like we're just going to raise the debt ceiling and keep things as they are right now. That seems to be the most likely, but they don't have much time to do this. They got 3 days this week, then they go into recess. You know, in my opinion right there, I think these politicians that go to recess when you got a situation like this, they ought to be fired. You know, they got a mission. They got a mission. Their job is to keep the government open to serve the public. I mean, that's ludicrous, you know, because then, in other words, after these 3 days, you know, they got 3 days they were in session this week, and then they only got the day before the deadline is going to be the next time they're all going to be around in you know, full session, and that's the only other time it could be resolved. It may come up to that point. Who the hell knows? We'll find out. But it looks like the deal is off with Iran, and I'm thinking to myself, well, it appears to be that way. It appears to be that way. And the reason I'm saying that is Iran wouldn't be sending warships. I mean, I'm laughing at this because I don't know, you know, these guys, I don't know what the hell they think, man. You know, I mean, if they start a fight with the United States, they're sending warships near the coast of the United States in international waters to show their bluster and might, and it's almost like, boy, oh boy, oh boy, that ain't smart, you know. But it's almost like that's screaming that the deal is off and that the sanctions are going to continue. And it's also telling you that even if the sanctions continue, if Israel doesn't start something, Iran's going to start something. Because they're getting, like, I don't know, all the tensions seem to be heating up. And maybe this is the whole game plan of the Illuminati, for all I know. I don't know. It could be. It could be. You know, if you look back in history, it looks like every time war there was like games going on, but other people getting people riled up to start something. You know, that's what it always seems like. So maybe it is. But, you know, that's kind of interesting that it's kind of coinciding with the same time we're having some serious budget problems in the U.S. government. You know, it's to divert domestic problems into a foreign war, right? The age-old game. Now, on the front of Bitcoins, man, they had another, you know, I don't know where the hell, you know, it's almost like this happened like overnight or during a tiny, tiny fraction of time. I think right now Bitcoins is sitting around 640 to 650, and I don't follow Bitcoins, but I found this interesting. They had a problem on the exchange, and it was like for a very, very short window. On it, you know, they showed the chart. The chart went down to 102, $102 a Bitcoin, very, very briefly, and then it sprang all the way back up because they made this announcement about having problems with on the exchange and, you know, people's money's being tied up or something like that. And I'm not really following it, but I says, wow, that is a hell of a, you know, a spike downward. It only happened very, very briefly, and right now it's, I think, around 640 or 650, but it spiked downward at 102. And I'm like, you know, that's to me, that's a dangerous investment right now. I don't know. I really don't know for sure because, you know, the only thing is I'm really hating about Bitcoins than anything is that if you can't use it, if you can't get it out of where it is, and you can't make use of it, it doesn't really matter what the hell it goes up to, or what it says the value is if you can't use it. any stock ticker out there that you buy. I mean, there's, if you want to speculate, there's plenty of stock tickers out there. If you freaking think you're a genius and you can get to, you can look pretty much every week or something. There's something that goes up 10, 20 times. If you're a freaking Karnak the magician, at least if it went up 10 times or whatever the hell it is, or if it went up 50%, which is a hell of a super gain. If it's on a New York Stock Exchange, you can get your cash immediately. You can get your cash immediately. I don't know. That's not really, a currency has to be something that defined. A currency is defined as something that's liquid. A stock ticker is not a currency, but a stock ticker is more liquid than bitcoins. That's my point, as of right now. Okay? People get mad at me, but that's, you know what I mean? A currency means it's liquid, very liquid. It's got to be, widely accepted, that type of stuff, but currency means it's a medium of exchange. A stock ticker is not a medium of exchange, but you can get cash for it a hell of a lot faster than bitcoins in a lot of cases now. What's going on? All right, so keep that in mind. Anyway, for the, I know there's Bitcoin enthusiasts out there that love this damn thing. I'm going to actually ad lib a little more on this because, I always stuck with the principle of physical metals and physical, goods, physical energy goods like diesel fuel, physical food storage, and that type of stuff. I'm not going to even mention any names, but there's so many people out there that emphasize to you that the electronic markets can't be trusted. You can't trust anything on paper. Oh, everything is going to fall apart, and never to get anything electronic, never to get anything on paper. You have to have physical coin, you have to have physical silver, you have to have physical gold, and all this kind of stuff. And then these are the same people that jumped on the bandwagon when Bitcoins was going up. I don't know about that deal, man. It's like you just betrayed all your principles in one shot, because actually I trust the New York Stock Exchange, a stock ticker, in BP oil or something, than I would. Pick an evil giant out there. I would trust that. I'd rather have money in BP oil than have it in Bitcoins, to tell you the truth, because I think actually oil's going to go way up and British Petroleum ain't going to go away. You know what I mean? Despite them spilling oil all over the Gulf and all that type of stuff. Anyway, actually, most of my diesel fuel I stored is from BP. Anyway, British Petroleum. I don't know. Hey, it runs freaking diesel generators. That's the way I look at it. But anyway, a lot of things looks like it's coming up at the same time, and it's going to be this diversion tactic, which is almost always the case. And actually, if you look at what the hell was it? The situation though with the middle class, and this is really the age-old problem. Even when there's a war, there's a big enough war. What do they do to employ the youth? And they put them in the military, man. They put them in the military. That's always the deal. When there's widespread unemployment, they put them in the military, man. If they need them, you never know. That could be the situation. But I think actually, I know there's going to be a lot. If there's actually a conflict with the Middle East with Iran, it is going to drive oil up to the roof, because Saudi refineries are going to get destroyed, and it's going to spread. And oil prices are going to stay up there, maybe not just for a couple months, but they're going to stay up there longer. Not forever. Because, you know what? There is a lot of alternative energy that works. And that's really going to force it out, where you're going to see the alternative energy really come out. Because, right now they're okay with paying so much for gasoline or home heating oil and all this type of stuff. But you're actually going to see a major push for alternative energy coming out then. But it's going to really destroy the middle class in the meantime. And, even when we were looking at shadow stats, I think shadow stats, like the government puts the unemployment rate at 6-point-something%. I think shadow stats, I forgot what it was. It was 23-24% is what they put the unemployment rate at, the true unemployment rate. Also, I think it was net disposable income dropped by 4% in a month just recently. And that is the biggest drop in decades. I forgot how many years that was. So there's like middle class is getting squeezed left and right. But if I'm going to say this, I think the alternative energy deal is actually here right now, and maybe you could possibly do it with some of the solar panels. Even though I think wouldn't invest very, very hard in that technology, but do it piecemeal. But I think the alternative energy actually is here now, and you want to do things in steps, not all at once, and wait for some holy grail to come by and say, yeah, it's the big solution. Do things in steps. That's always the best way. And also, that should be your strategy. Well, I wish I knew when the exact point of silver or gold was going to be at the very, very height. That would be nice. But considering you'd have to be luckier than winning the lottery to get the exact time, your best strategy is to sell in steps as needed. Just sell in steps as needed. And silver and gold will go far beyond what is reasonably should happen with the inflation rate due to greed and fear. People will, once they see that curve going up, they're going to jump on it. There's going to be so many people out there, hey, the world's going to cave in, your money's going to be worth nothing, you got to buy it at any cost, and watch. And like I said before, the dollar's not going to go away completely. Not completely. Despite all the debt. Because as, say gold went to $20,000 an ounce. Well then, what does that mean all the gold reserves in the United States are worth? Wouldn't that back up that much more debt? Sure it would. What if, say oil was $250 a barrel? Wouldn't oil back up that much? Wouldn't oil trade that's traded in dollars soak up that many dollars that are out in the world? Sure it would. There's a limit to how high it's going to go. The only way it goes to Zimbabwe money is if there's World War III for real and the United States doesn't do well. But Iran is not World War III. What may be World War III is Russia and China, and that may be later down the road, because I tell you the truth, and I don't trust to deal with Vladimir Putin, man. He's a greedy mofo, and he's playing his own game. Yeah, maybe he's against the Western elite, but he's his own elitist, and he's got his own game going, man. And he sure as hell is not going to do anything nice for the Western world. Just remember that shit. So long term, I don't really know what the long term is. Yeah, there could be World War III someday. I don't know. But if there's a war with Iran, that's not going to be World War III. Because when oil prices go up, Vladimir Putin is going to be smiling all the way to the bank. If oil prices go up $250 or whatever the hell it is a barrel, Russia gets filthy rich, and Vladimir Putin is probably going to be wealthier than Rockefeller and Rothschild combined. Or somewhere around there anyway. I don't know exactly, but he's going to be up there, man. He's already up there about $40-50 billion. So I just said some stuff that's unpopular because I know there's freaking people out there that buy this Vladimir Putin's a nice guy crap and he's against the Western Illuminati and all this other shit. You people don't know. You don't know this guy. I don't know him personally. It's simple as all hell to read what this guy is about. I don't know. I just can't believe how naive people are with this garbage. It's all an act with it, man. The whole damn thing. Vladimir Putin. He's like the reformer. So, Russia hasn't, even though they're going to be throwing dirt on the West when this war with Iran starts, which I think it is going to happen this spring, they're going to be smiling all the way to the bank, man. And their GDP is going to go way the hell up, because they export a hell of a lot of oil. It's going to help them out. So, but it's going to screw the middle class everywhere in the whole world. So anyway, I'm gonna be putting out some more car videos about this kind of shit, because I'm expecting $8 a gallon at the pump, and I want to put some other things out on how to save money here and there and all this kind of shit, because I think that's going to be more important than putting out this semi doom and gloom stuff. Oh, by the way, I want to leave a note too, because I saw a lot of people mention that YouTube is censoring comments, and they're not. And it's like, I think if you put a link down on a video in a comment, most of the time it goes into like probably marked as spam. And a lot of times links are, there's people I think that are paid all over the place to put links all over everybody's videos so they can get people going to their blog, right? And then if you put a lot of comments in a row, it says probably marked as spam. Now, I don't do that, and most of the time I go back into videos, but there's so many videos I got out here. I mean, I don't even know. Maybe I missed some, and I just click them. Okay, But they're not freaking trying to censor anything, man. It's just common sense. I mean, if I was setting up a rule, I'd figure links are spam, and somebody makes 5 comments in a row, it's spam. That's kind of what they're doing, I just want to put that as a note, because these conspiracy heads out here are they're taking something and they're taking something and they're making a whole big deal out of it when it's nothing. It's just common sense, man. But anyway, using some common sense, it looks like our lazy-ass Congress is going to take a recess in spite of the damn debt ceiling coming up. I shouldn't laugh at that, but man, this is why we shouldn't freaking vote for these jackasses, man. Next time I vote, well, I do this every time. I'm starting to go third party. But these guys, if the whole government's going to shut down and they're going to take a recess, they're jerks. They're jerks. That's one thing I could just point out. That's a problem. And, it looks like, just right on the surface, if Iran is sending warships, I'm laughing at this, to the U.S. border, close to the, international waters, but close to the United States to show their, oh, yeah. And, that means the deal looks like it's not going on with them, with the backing off of sanctions. You'd almost read that's 101, right? Why would they be doing that unless they're really idiots? Well, they are idiots, but they're not that stupid. But you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of telling you probably the sanctions are off. And if they're doing that, it looks like war's coming up pretty soon for real. Because probably these sanctions are putting a big squeeze on the regime. And I'm saying is, if the war's coming up, you're going to see the oil go to $2.50 a barrel, because it's not just going to be Iran gets attacked. I think it's going to be between Saudi's going to get like bombs going off within their country, and there's oil refineries. There's going to be, all kinds of crap going on, and the oil supply is going to, it doesn't matter if North America has pretty much all the oil it needs and we got all these strategic reserves. That's not going to matter. That the price is going to go way the hell up, because the way they figure the price is the global market. I know it's a bunch of bullshit, but that's what they do. That's what they do. Even though there's going to be plenty of oil, it's going to cost a hell of a lot more. So just be prepared on that situation. Over and out. I think I'm correct on this. I think I'm correct. I've been saying this, but now I'm looking at it just from my angle, not from LW or somebody else's eyes. I'm looking at it just plain common sense. Looks like it's coming up pretty soon. It's probably going to be this spring. After we start having problems with the government, they're going to have a foreign war.